Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with John Kay and Naga Manchetti.
Good morning. Our headlines today. Perseverance pays off for NASA as it successfully lands a rover on the surface of Mars.
Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the sands of past life.
Boris Johnson will pledge to give away the majority of the UK's surplus coronavirus vaccines to developing countries when he chairs a virtual meeting of the G7 today.
Good morning. How much has the pandemic cost the public purse, from furlough to extra support for the NHS? This morning, we'll get the figures on what's being spent and borrowed and what that means for all of us.
Good morning. On a night of real European drama, Rangers rally late on to edge a 7-goal thriller. Let's roll Antwerp in Belgium with a winner in the 90th minute.
And the stables are staying. BBC Breakfast viewers helped raise more than £1 million to keep young people with disabilities in the saddle.
Plus, an incredibly mild few days to come. 1 or 2 can hit 17 degrees, but do not be fooled. Plenty of rain around too. I'll have your full forecast right here on Breakfast.
Good morning. It's Friday, February the 19th, and NASA has successfully landed its most advanced spacecraft yet on Mars, where it's going to search for signs of ancient life.
The rover, called Perseverance, travelled nearly 300 million miles before navigating a risky landing phase. It was dubbed the 7 Minutes of Terror. Here's more from our science correspondent, Rebecca Morrell. We should warn you, this report does contain some flashing images.
Perseverance is going about 1 kilometre per second.
A nerve-wracking wait at mission control.
Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars.
Then, celebrations as a signal is received from Mars. It's touchdown for NASA's Perseverance rover. And these are its first images, a view of its landing site. The rover's even started tweeting too. "I'm safe on Mars. Perseverance will get you anywhere."
There really is no good way to describe that moment when it's over and you hear those words, touchdown confirmed. It's just a remarkable feeling of pride in the team, relief, and really joy thinking forward to this remarkable surface mission that we have coming up.
It survived a fiendishly difficult landing, burning through the atmosphere at the speed of a bullet before a complex landing system brought it to the ground. The rover will now be seeking answers to a crucial question.
This mission is all about finding signs of life, and the best place to do that is here, the Jezero crater. Today it's dry and dusty, but billions of years ago it was a huge lake, and you can clearly see a river running into it. This gives you an idea of what it would have looked like. If we zoom in a bit more, these green areas on the edge of the crater were once beaches on the lake shore, and the hope is any microscopic creatures that once lived there are still preserved.
Perseverance is the most advanced rover that NASA's ever built, and it's jam-packed with instruments. Its robotic arm is equipped with a drill to collect rock samples. So what forms of life could they contain?
I am not talking about Martian little green men, probably not even fish. We're looking for microbial life, or maybe microbes that have made a little mat or a slime of sorts that you might find on the bottom of a pond. Those are the types of things that are likely to, well, they did exist on Earth 3.5 billion years ago. The question is, did they exist on Mars at the bottom of lakes?
And in a first, NASA's mini Mars helicopter will take off. It's a new way to view the planet. Its test flight will be in a few weeks. But getting to the red planet is just the start. Now the hard work begins, on a mission that could transform our understanding of Mars. Rebecca Morrell, BBC News.
Oh, it was so good watching it happen last
watched
night.
it
I was
last
watching
night,
on BBC News, and what was staggering is you'd only just got your head around the fact that it had landed successfully. And then we could see the pictures, literally 10, 11 minutes after we knew it was landed, the photos were there.
But can you imagine how long, we were talking to a scientist yesterday, weren't we, how long that 11 minutes must have felt?
Yeah, that's true.
Just to have it, hasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, the joy on their faces. It's so nice to start with some smiles, isn't it, on the programme on a Friday.
It's 6:05. Other news to bring you. Boris Johnson will pledge today to donate the majority of the UK's surplus COVID vaccines to developing countries.
The Prime Minister is chairing a virtual summit today where he's going to encourage other leaders, including President Biden, to follow suit. Here's our global health correspondent, Naomi Grimley.
More and more Britons are getting their vaccine shots. Today, the Prime Minister will be chairing a G7 meeting to talk about those countries which haven't got started. In the global scramble to secure vaccines against COVID-19, many wealthy countries, which funded a lot of the research, have ended up buying more supplies than they need. New figures from the anti-poverty pressure group, the One Campaign, reveal that Australia, Canada, Japan, the UK, the US and the EU have already secured more than 3 billion doses, 1.2 billion more than they need to give their entire populations 2 doses. The UK government is now talking about sharing some of its surplus. But campaigners say they want hard facts on how many actual doses it will be donating.
There's over 1 billion excess doses that are being tied up in a pipeline in these countries, and we need to make sure that they're not sitting stockpiled in just a few countries, but indeed they're going back to poorer countries and middle-income countries so that we can actually get this virus under control everywhere.
The UK has also given £500 million to COVAX, the UN-led programme to get vaccines out to poorer countries. But that project has yet to launch its first vaccinations. So 130 countries in the world haven't administered any shots, leaving healthcare workers at high risk. Naomi Grimley, BBC News.
Nearly 20 major healthcare organisations, including the Royal College of Nursing and the British Medical Association, are appealing to the Prime Minister for better protection from coronavirus. They say at least 930 healthcare workers have now died from COVID and that high-grade equipment is needed to prevent the transmission of the virus through the air. They're asking for improved ventilation and more consideration of the risks posed to staff while they work in patients' homes.
All primary school children in Wales could return to classes by the middle of next month if COVID rates continue to fall. The First Minister, Mark Drakeford, will set out his plans today for lifting lockdown restrictions, and it's expected to start with that gradual reopening of schools. Younger primary school children are set to return on Monday, and older pupils could then join them on March the 15th. We're going to speak to Mr Drakeford in about an hour's time.
More than 2 million people in the UK have been denied a refund for flights they were unable to board because of coronavirus restrictions. This according to research by the consumer group Which. It found that even though the law prevented travel during lockdown, passengers were not legally entitled to money back or guaranteed a successful insurance claim because the airline didn't cancel the flight. Which advises that we should wait until the situation is clearer before booking a summer holiday and that we consider package holidays over flight-only trips.
Now, Matt's going to be here in a moment with stories of a very mild weekend ahead for us here in the UK. But in Texas, we've been reporting on the extraordinary weather there. Millions of people have been told to boil their drinking water because severe wintry weather is continuing to cause chaos.
Yeah, many are living without power. Temperatures have dropped as low as minus 18 degrees Celsius. Here's more from our North America correspondent, Lebo Jezero.
This is one of the richest states in one of the richest countries in the world. Around half of Texans are experiencing disruptions to water supply. For others, burst pipes and melting snow have caused flooding.
Last night we got power after 2 days and we didn't have water. But finally we got water. Now we have water everywhere.
Water companies have battled with frozen wells. Treatment plants have been hit by power outages. It's meant 13 million people have been told to boil their water before drinking it. The supply of electricity is slowly being restored, but there are still at least 500,000 people without it.
We will not stop until normalcy is restored to your lives. Until that moment comes, though, I ask all Texans to continue your efforts to take the proper precautions that are needed to stay safe and to stay warm.
If they manage to do that and find water, getting food may still be hard. Supermarket shelves are running dangerously low on supplies. While ordinary Texans were freezing, their Senator Ted Cruz headed for the beaches of Mexico. Back now after a public outcry over his absence while his state was in crisis. Lebu Jezero, BBC News, Texas.
See the headlines as they happen and watch BBC News live in the app and get the full story with bbc.co.uk/news. Follow the story for all the latest with BBC News.